Hey everyone, how's it going? I am Xeracon. I am back once again. I apologize if there's just like some really odd sound in the background right now. My fan is on right now because it is very hot where I am. So I'm just trying to, stay cool and whatnot. But today we are going to be talking about it's sort of a summary of just a recent experience I've had. So, if you weren't aware, Avatar: The Last Airbender was released on Netflix not too long ago. Maybe it was like about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, not too long. I figured it would be the ideal time to watch it since I had never seen it before. And yes, I know it's completely absurd that I haven't watched Avatar until now. But after watching it, I can't help but wonder why I haven't seen it. It's not that I haven't heard of it before. It would be pretty hard for me to avoid it. I mean, people I know have seen it before. I suppose it's because I was more of a Disney and Cartoon Network person than a Nickelodeon person. But I digress. Heads up, there will be some spoilers ahead. So just keep that in mind if you haven't watched it yourself. Now, admittedly, it took a few episodes for me to get hooked. The earlier episodes were a bit goofy for my tastes, so I wasn't too interested. It was about four, five, it was probably about 5 or 6 episodes that I actually was invested and hooked on it. Not too long. Like I was actually knew that Uncle Iroh was going to be my favorite character, and after finishing the series as a whole, he still remains my favorite character alongside Toph. The wisdom and humor that Iroh brings, like it's so entertaining, and he's also more clever than he appears to be. I mean, like every once in a while you might think, oh, he's got something up his sleeves, but then you realize no, he actually knows more than you might actually even guess. And Toph, she just doesn't care at all about stuff. Like she will go into things head first, but she actually can back herself up. Like she's actually that good of a earthbender. But she does offer some solid advice and perspective, being someone who comes in later into the group, as well as being blind. So like those two things also help give her unique perspective on the situations that are being that the characters are facing. Zuko was close to being one of my favorites, but he was so close, but I just couldn't do that just to some of his choices. However, he is without a doubt the most complex character in the show, and I really appreciate that from the writers. I mean, he has character development that spans the entirety of the series. And while other characters in the show have their own character development and self improvement, Zuko took many steps even when he backpedaled in the series. Every change he made was an internal struggle. Every time he had to choose which path he would take, it was his own trial. I mean, even when he was adamant about capturing Aang in season one, he made a choice to save his crew rather than attempt to capture the Avatar because they were in the middle of a storm, and like before he was like not he did not care if like the crew died like trying to capture him, but then like after like facing almost getting to a fight with I think the captain and his uncle talking to him, then he was like, okay, I will let the Avatar go this time so I can save the crew. And so like that was his own personal struggle like right there. Even when he was bent on his one goal. And his actions have had major impacts on other characters as well. While Aang tried to befriend him as well as Katara, when he and Katara were both captured, his siding with Azula in order to regain his father's trust and love caused them to mistrust him and despise him when he genuinely wanted to aid them later on in the last season. So Zuko is definitely a splendidly written character. I mean, his backtrack is what prevented me from making him my favorite character, but I cannot argue that he is perhaps the he's the best character as far as what a character is. He is the best one. It's just that I enjoy the other characters more. And while I have mentioned how much I like these select characters, that isn't to say that the other characters were disliked. Each character in the show had their own personality and unique offering for the show, from Aang to the Cabbage Man. I mean, each character had their own unique flavor. And I didn't necessarily dislike anyone. I mean, I didn't even hate Fire Lord Ozai. He's the villain, and we're not supposed to like him, but I didn't hate him. I mean, I didn't like him. That don't get me wrong. I wasn't saying like he was. I was rooting for him, but he wasn't a demon. Even though I could see he is a bad guy, I just couldn't hate him. However, I hated Azula with a passion. When she first appeared, I thought, oh snap, it's about to get serious. Like it was just I just saw how intense like things were possibly going to be getting in season 2. As I saw how cruel and sadistic she is, however, then I began to loathe her. I mean, the only time I felt something neutral or sympathetic towards her was when she, Zuko, Ty Lee, and May went to the island for relaxation. Her competitive and aggressive nature, that contrasted with the demeanor of everyone else there on the island, it brought a lot of humor for me. But afterwards, I quickly went back to hating her, and not even her mirror breakdown at the end of the series caused me to feel any sympathy towards her. I thought, no, you don't get any sort of redemption. Like, I hate you and I loathe you, and I really just want to see Zuko kick your butt. And the detail to the culture was great too. I mean, while I don't specialize in studying Chinese culture, I could definitely identify various aspects of the culture and beliefs in the show. The writers obviously did their research and respected the culture that they were trying to emulate, so props to them. One of the strengths that the show has is that the story feels like it's actually going somewhere. I never felt like an episode was pointless. Even if the group did something in one seemingly random place, an action might have a reaction later on, or a character who might seem to be only there for one episode might be making a return later on, or it could just be there for some actual character development. Uh, there was no sense of filler or fluff, which is something that anime heavily suffers from. And with just over 60 episodes, the series isn't too long either, so the story can be told within a reasonable length of time. Something that improved over the course of the show was the combat scenes. They were simple but effective in the earlier parts, but they did improve as time went by. And I actually feel the same way about the plot itself. I mean, I was actually, like, starting from season 1 and then going to season 2, I was like, oh my goodness, like, the stakes are getting higher, and I definitely really love season 2. And even though season 3 was great, I still somehow feel like season 2 was almost my favorite. Almost. But overall, I was very pleased with Avatar. I'm just sad that I didn't experience it sooner. If you haven't watched it before, I would definitely say go ahead, or even if you haven't finished it, I would say go ahead, give it a shot, go back and finish it. It's a good, fun show that is one of the best in the 2000s era. And that will actually do it for today. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate it. Let me know what your favorite Avatar moments and characters are in the comments below. Also, feel free to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter. So until next time, everyone, I am iamxeracon signing off. Have a good one.